Hello and sac passé. Sac passé means how are you? Welcome in Kreyol language. My name is Chef Stephan and I've been cooking for the last 22 years. We're gonna cook this incredible dish for you, and we're gonna start with an appetizer which is called malanga, carries other name like utia, like taro root. So we're gonna make a fritter out of that, and then we're gonna make Chef Stephan's famous Kreyol chicken. Kreyol chicken is a very popular dish throughout the Creole Caribbean, from Dominican Republic to Haiti to Colombia and Latin America. And the way we're gonna start this, in the Caribbean, you gotta clean your chicken. And the way, and when we say clean your chicken, we don't mean just taking off the excess fat that's in the chicken, but we're also talking about washing it. Washing it helps to remove some of the impurities and a little bit of the smell that comes from the packaging. We're gonna quickly remove some of the excess fat. Very important. Make sure whatever knife you're using is a knife that cuts well. My preference is a Dow Strong knife. If you're serious about cooking and you're serious about what you're doing, good equipment is the way to go. So what I've done is I've taken out the excess fat, and then we're gonna quickly rinse our chicken under warm, cold water. And then we're going to prepare the marinade for this. We're going to prepare a marinade called épices. Épices is sort of a mix of different vegetables and aromatics, habanero, fresh thyme, chives, ginger, onions, and then we use what we call something called sour orange. If you cannot find sour orange, you can always mix orange juice and lime juice together. It'll give you the same components. Make sure we wash our hands always. Then we're going to prepare our marinade. In a blender, we're going to add green peppers, some onions, about a half a yellow onion, 3 or 4 heads of fresh garlic. I love garlic. Ginger. Normally in Haitian épices, because this recipe is hailing from the island of Haiti, we don't use ginger, but I love the aromatic of ginger in my marinade. So, we'll add some of that. I have some Kreyol seasoning, my own mix. And then we're going to add our orange juice and some of our lime juice. Okay, and then a little bit of oil. The last thing we'll be adding is habaneros or Scotch bonnet, if you cannot find habaneros, and then some chives. You can take the whole stem of the fresh thyme. Really, everything will blend together. Some parsley, of course. And yes, a little bit of oil. We're almost ready. I got my habaneros over here, and we're gonna add that to it. Let's cut them up in smaller pieces. The membranes, which is where the heat usually lies, It's okay. I like to put the whole thing in there. It's up to you depending on your heat preference. And this is what's going to marinate our meat. All right, our marinade is done. Now, in the Caribbean, we love to use our hands and our fingers. So, a little dip. Oh yeah. Woo. And I love the spice that came out of the Scotch bonnet. All right. Let's put the rest of our marinade to the side. And with our hands, let's make sure that the whole chicken takes on the love of this épice. Yes, we call it épice, which means épice in Creole, which means spices, mostly natural aromatics. There we go. Now that we have that, we're gonna rinse out our hands, and then we're gonna let that in the refrigerator for about, the best to do is a couple of hours, but my preference is to let it marinate overnight. Before we get started on our malanga fritter, we're going to make something called pickles. Now, pickles is a very special condiment in Haitian Creole cuisine. It's a mix of cabbage, of carrots, of fresh thyme, green onions, but it's got some fire, and it's got a little bit of acid, which comes from the vinegar. So it's almost like a pickled cabbage slaw, if you will. So we're gonna add fresh cabbage. We're gonna add some sweet peppers. I love to use the mini sweet peppers. For some reason, they taste even better. We're gonna add some julienne onions to that mix. Some fresh grated carrots. Here we go. Our vinegar. A little bit of that Creole spice seasonings. Least but not least, some of our habaneros. So we want to slice them real small. All right, guys. So we got our vinegar in there. We got our habanero in there. Let's mix all that together. Make sure that we have the flavor profile that we're looking for. We may need to add a little bit of sea salt, and that's okay. I'm gonna add a little pinch of sea salt. The habanero is cutting through, and I'm also gonna, you know what, for freshness, add a little bit of chives to that. Plus the color of the chives and the aromatic of the chives is really super amazing. And of course, let's not forget our green onions. Normally you can leave this outside or you can put it in the fridge, but the best is to just let it steep and let it macerate and get all that pickling juices going on right inside. Now we're gonna go right into our malanga fritter. Now this is the malanga, right? Gonna cut this in half, put all our stuff to the side, and we're gonna take the bark out. We're gonna do this the Caribbean way, obviously, using a hand grater. But if you're smart and you don't like to work so hard like me, you can most definitely use a food processor. Take our grater. You want to use the one that is much smaller. Now, if it's not giving you almost like a paste, then you may want to run it through the food processor with a little bit of water. It'll give you the same, because as you can see, It's not really giving me the paste that I want. So now once you're done with all of this, then we're gonna add all of our little bit of épices in there, the épices that we made. So we have some leftover épices, obviously. And then all you have to do is fry it. Now that we have our grated malanga, as you can see, it has turned into much of a paste. We're going to add some flavor into this. Now, of course, our épice has everything already in. A little bit of acid, some garlic, some chives, some parsley, some fresh thyme. All of that is already in there. A little pinch of salt. And it also has some the fiery Scotch bonnet pepper. So now, you see it's starting to get some color. Now, the great thing about malanga, guys, is that it has so much natural starch that it's going to, when you're frying it, it's going to turn into a fritter all by itself. You don't need to add any additional flour so it's gluten-free. It's completely natural. This is a vegan style appetizer fritter. Anybody is going to love having this in their arsenal in terms of appetizers. Yes, a little bit more salt. We're gonna add a little bit of green onions for texture, and we're good to go. We're gonna go into the fryer. We're gonna get our chicken in the pot. It's gonna be amazing. All right, guys, we are ready to start cooking our chicken. We gotta get our pot hot, so I've got my fire on. We're gonna let the pot get really, really hot before we put any oil in there. I've got some oil that's going to help us fry not only our malanga fritter, but also our plantains. So you want the oil for the frying to be at around 350 degrees. And then your pot needs to get really, really hot, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna give some color to the chicken first, and then we're gonna stew it. So our pot is hot. Gonna add some oil to that. And then all we're gonna do is that marinated chicken in our épice is gonna go right in that oil. Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. This is just going to be beautiful. All right, now we got our chicken pieces in our pot. We're gonna let the chicken brown a little bit, and then we're gonna start on our malanga fritter. All right, our oil is hot, 350 degrees. You can see the ribbon starting to form in the pan. That's how you know when your oil is hot. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of our fritter and just drop it in there. Oh, look at this already. It's bubbling. Now, you can do this with a scoop, but we do this by taking the knife all the way and bringing the malanga, and then we make little canals with the knife. There we go. Little canals. Oh, baby. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Now you see, malanga is a root vegetable that you find a lot in West Africa, but this has been on the island since the Taínos, since the first inhabitants of Hispaniola. Now, Hispaniola is the name that Christopher Columbus gave to the island when he arrived there. He was heading towards Mexico in search of gold, and ended up in this beautiful island with such beautiful people, and he named the place Hispaniola. Now, as you can see, they're taking shape and they're not breaking off because of the natural starch in the malanga. We're gonna let that fry, get some color, and then we're gonna flip our chicken. Oh, our chicken is starting to get color already. Oh, baby. All right, guys, our malanga fritters are beautifully golden brown. Look at this. We're gonna take these out, put them on a paper towel to let them sort of render their additional fat. Now, as soon as anything that you're frying, as soon as you take it out the hot oil, it's really always good to drop a little bit of salt to that. Here you go. So we're gonna leave that to the side, and then we're gonna get our fried plantains going now. Now, plantains are really easy to do together. The best technique I found to peel the plantain, you do an incision here, and then you dip him in a little bit of hot water. When you dip them in a little bit of hot water, they're easy to peel. But as you can see with my fingers, running it down under the skin. Now, I'm gonna cut the plantains in a bias, and then we're gonna do a first fry. Drop them in the hot oil. I have some already cut up right here. And we're gonna let these get golden brown on us. And then we're gonna take them out. And then we're gonna flatten them, and we're gonna do a second fry. All right? Let's check on our chicken. Oh, baby. Oh. What I'm gonna do, now that our chicken is taking a lot of color, I'm gonna add the tomato paste, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of brown sugar. Now, this is a technique that a chef friend of mine showed me how to do to get this beautiful color into a Kreyol chicken. Now, as you all know, tomato paste has natural sugars in there as well. But the brown sugar helps to give it that extra caramelization. So I'm dropping my tomato paste in there. We're gonna add a touch. For example, Kreyol chicken in the Dominican Republic, they love to use brown sugar. So their Kreyol chicken is a little sweet. Ours is gonna be much flavorful and with a whole lot more spices. So, if I flip that. Before I deglaze this pan with the chicken stock, you would not be hanging out with Chef Stephan if I didn't add a little touch, a special touch to my chicken. Now, I have some beautiful clairin from Haiti. This is called clairin communal. And I'm gonna drop a little bit of this flavorful rum agricole in the pan. And let me tell you, that's going to take your chicken to the next level. Ooh, I tell you. And then, take our chicken stock, and all we're gonna do is cover that chicken. All right, our plantains have taken color. Now, all we're gonna do is flatten them out. Then we're gonna drop them in some water, that's salted water with a little bit of lime juice, and then we're gonna fry them for a second time. Now that we have our malanga fritters all set and ready, we have our pickles. This is the best way to eat this and to serve it. Take a little bit of that slaw, that beautiful slaw, right on top. A little bit of green onion on the plate. You cannot have an appetizer without a great cocktail. We're going to make something I called the Chef Stephan special. I have this beautiful herbal tea called Mabi. which is flavored with apricot and passion fruits. I'm gonna pour that in a glass full of ice. Mabi is a name that comes from the Taínos. All of the ingredients in Mabi are sourced directly from Haiti. This is what the beauty of this is. Now, we're gonna let this get really nice and cold. And then we're gonna take our beautiful Kreyol from Haiti. Haiti is the only island in the Caribbean and Latin America that has 36 agricole rum distilleries. This rum has, in every single distillery in Haiti, is very distinctive in the flavor of the sugarcane. This is pure, beautiful sugarcane juice in our glass. And all we're gonna do is pour this in. A couple ice cubes in there, doesn't hurt. Take a little bit of that akra, a little bit of slaw. Beautiful cocktail, guys. Cheers. Oh, this is good. This beautiful Kreyol cuts through the spiciness of the slaw. Beautiful spices in the malanga fritter. You can't go wrong. Our beautiful chicken is stewing. I'm adding some additional aromatics, a little bit of fresh thyme, a little bit of the hot peppers. We're gonna drop some onions. Okay, you cannot have Creole chicken without onions. And then we're gonna drop our sweet peppers as well. And we're gonna let that finish stewing. Our sauce is starting to thicken. Look at that beautiful color on the chicken. Can't get better than that. You cannot get better than that. Now, to finish off, our fried plantains have been smashed, as you can see. We're gonna drop this in a little bit of salted water that has also infused with lime. Be careful, because as water connects with oil, it tends to splash. So be careful when you're dropping the plantains in the oil that you drop it away from you. As you can see, our chicken is almost ready to go. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna show you a real Caribbean way of tasting your food. Take a little bit of that sauce, put it right in the palm of your hand. Oh, I can't tell you how good this is. It's got a nice little spice to it. It's got a little bit of, chicken has had some nice caramelization from the sugar and the tomato paste. We have some beautiful colors with the peppers. This is amazing. So we're gonna let that finish up while our plantains is getting crispy. And we're gonna put some paper towels on our plate so that we can extract the excess oil. But I think our plantain is almost done. And we're ready to plate. All right, guys, our Creole chicken is ready. Look at this beauty. Beautiful colors. I have this beautiful platter that's been provided by my friends at Berrouet. Berrouet is a company from Spain that recycles aluminum to create top-of-the-line cooking equipment for the home and for the professional. Oh, look at that. We have fresh thyme in this. We have peppers and onions. The colors are amazing. Can you guys smell this? This is such an amazing. All right. Then we're gonna pour some of that beautiful Creole sauce right on top. Then, to finish this off, I'm gonna put a little bit of green onions, a little bit of chopped parsley, and then we're gonna slice off a few more of those beautiful mini sweet peppers, like this, little red, little yellow, and we're gonna finish it off like so. You can serve this with white rice, you can serve this with rice and beans. In the Spanish-speaking Creole cultures, we serve this with rice con gandules, which is green peas. We're gonna take our plantains, put it right to the side right here. I gotta tell you guys, Creole chicken is such an iconic dish, especially in the Creole culture. From French-speaking Creole to Spanish-speaking Creole, even to English-speaking Creole, there is a Creole chicken dish available within the culture. So it's such an iconic dish that I wanted to share with you as part of Creole Spice, as part of our first episode, if you will. And then, you cannot go to the island of Haiti without a little bit of that beautiful, spicy, pickly slaw. And we're gonna put that right on top. Here we go. Now, if you don't call that dinner, I don't know what you wanna call it. I hope you enjoyed cooking with me as much as I've enjoyed cooking with you and sharing this beautiful, iconic Creole chicken dish from Haiti with a Haitian spin. But this is a Creole dish. This is a Creole dish that you can find in multiple different cultures in the Caribbean, whether it's French Caribbean, Spanish Caribbean, English-speaking Caribbean, even Portuguese Caribbean. You will find a Creole dish like this. I hope you enjoy this as much as I did, preparing it for you. Bon appétit.